just a shout out to everyone. That hope everyone is stay safe during these troubling times, and happy to be here to present. So I'm Doug Purcell, a corporate trainer and technical book author, and this presentation is actually inspired from the most recent book I published, which the ebook version was published back in December. Paperback was scheduled, it's been published in early March, but due to COVID-19, I couldn't do my book tour. But nevertheless, I'm happy to present my favorite chapter of the book, and pretty much is geared towards beginners to inspire them to learn how to use Python to do interesting things. But I also feel like it could be interesting to even advanced programmers that just want to do recreational programming, right? Maybe you're a little bit burned out and you want to make programming fun again. So maybe these three simple scripts can be kind of like a launch pad to you to get rejuvenate back in programming and to explore different fields. So the programs that I have in mind is the first one is the California State Lottery Simulator. So there's a lot of different California State lotteries. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn on this right here. There we go. Okay. So let's see. California lotteries. So the first one is called the Daily Dream. And the of this is so that the people who are playing the game, they can pick any numbers from 0 to 9. And if they get those numbers in the same exact order that they appear, then they win the prize money. So it's a pretty simple game to play. And since it's only three numbers, it has the highest probability of winning compared to some of the other more lucrative but more difficult to win lotteries, right? And this right here, there's also different variants to how you can bet. You can do a straight bet, which means that the numbers must appear in the same exact order that they appeared, or you can do what's known as a box bet. And what happens is the order doesn't have to appear in the order in which they were generated. So in this case, if this was a box bet right here, you can still get a prize money if the numbers were 593 because the order doesn't matter with a box bet. And this right here is known as a straight bet. You must get the order correct. So we can model this very easily in Python by using a built-in module, and that module is called the random module. And inside that particular module, what you have is a function called rand_int. So this is short for random int. Similar function is available in the NumPy module library. And pretty much what happens is if you pass in two arguments, then you will generate the random number from X to Y. So what we want to do is write a very simple program that can kind of simulate that in Python. So I will make sure to put all the source code. Well, the source code is already on GitHub. I'll make sure to share it with everyone after this presentation. But what I want to do is I want to do some live coding to make things, I guess, kind of engaging. So since I only have 15 minutes, well, less than 50 minutes now, I would like to just kind of give a sample of some of the programs you could do. So I'm going to switch to Python. All right. So for example, I have already imported the rand_int function from the random module. So what we can just do is create a function, and then inside of that, we could just create the random numbers, right? And it's called the function. So if I want to randomly select a number in the range of 0 to 9, I can do something like this. So just create 3 random variables, and then what we would do from there is we're just going to run the program, and then we can kind of see how even while playing the daily 3 online in our programs, could still be hard to win. So what I'm going to do from here is, is that question for me? Okay, no mind. Oops, my bad. All right, there we go. Oops. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm just going to call this function. So function of straight bet. All right. So if we were to just run this in Python, . forgot to, of course, print the output. So you got to print. So I'm going to use the format function. So as again, very straightforward program. We have a function, and then we are passing 3 random numbers into it, and then we just want to print the result. And if we run this a couple of times, we should, in theory, get different variants of the numbers. And if we want to maybe do a little bit quicker simulation, we can just wrap this inside of a for loop and just tab this right here. I'll use the keyboard shortcut of Shift plus F10. As you can see, we get, the random number matching pairs. So these are simulating the random drawings from the lottery. And we can see that even while we're programming that, our odds are still not that great in picking the 3 random numbers. So for beginners, perhaps this could be a good program to build on top of. Perhaps you can add in a wager feature so that the user can provide the input to guess the random numbers and see if it match up with the ones that were generated. And if it did, the user has won. If not, then they lose. So this is, to me, a very simple and easy program to write. Okay, so another program I like to take a look at is a simple dice rolling simulator. So again, we can simulate, a dice. So pardon me on this very unartistic drawing, but right here is just draw a dice. So a dice is a cubic like device that has different faces, and it has the numbers from 1 through 6 on it, right? So this is my interpretation of a dice. And what I want to do is I want to just simulate the rolling of the dice. So I want to simulate it rolling, and the dice will fall on a number. Maybe it fall on 1 the first round, and the second round it will fall on 3 and whatnot. So I like to simulate that in a Python program. And to make things a little bit more interesting, I would like to have that user engagement. So instead of the program just spit out numbers 1 through 6, which are not that interesting, perhaps I want to give the user the option to go ahead and make a guess. Just go ahead and guess what side that the dice has landed on. And if the dice landed on the side that they guess, then the user wins. So again, this is another script that we can just simply code up in Python. So what I want to do is import the random module. So that has already been imported. And the next thing I want to do is I simply just want to simulate the rolling of the dice. So what I would do is I'll create a variable called dice. And since a dice has 6 sides, I do it from 1 to 6. All right. And maybe I want the user to have 10 chances to guess. So what I'll do is I'll just write a simple for loop. And all right. So that way the user get to guess the number, gets 10 chances to guess the dice, or 10 chances to play the game. And then if I want the user to simply take a guess, then I will create a variable called guess, and then simply just pass an int and then input so that the user has to enter in a number. Then from here, what we can simply do is just say that if the user has guessed the correct number, then the user won the game. Start print. Else. And of course, you have to put the sad face there. And then just like to print out what the secret number is. So dice landed on whatever this number is. So, oops. It'll be here. Okay. And then from there, I have to run the program. So I'll just go down here, just call the game function that we just created. And we'll see what happens. Hopefully no errors. All right, so I'll say, get 6. That don't make sense, right? Oh, so I have a Woo bug here. So this is a good learning experience. So dice. Oops. All right. Maybe I have some. Oh, thank you. So that's another great thing about doing live programming. You you get you can I can solicit feedback from the audience because that was a very bad error to make. So nevertheless,
Luke says use dice instead of guess.
yeah. That's,
Line
oh
16.
oh oh oh.
That should always be true, I think.
Yeah, that would be true. So dice equal to guess. Okay, well, I can cheat right now, and it's pretty embarrassing because it's a live program. I can go to my GitHub repo. I have this code already done and much more sophisticated right now. So I was getting nervous live program and just trying to, yeah.
Yeah, live
All
demos are always a nice bet, aren't they?
right. I was trying to do something a little bit different, and this is a very simple
Yeah.
thing to do. But nonetheless, yeah, I made sure to share this code with everyone because right now, for some reason, my brain not working correctly, and yeah, this very simple problem is not yeah, not showing up. But nonetheless, the code is on GitHub, so you can download it and play with it. Um, and then um, the last script that I like to get through is a random person generator. So in this case, what happens is,
Yeah, so Luke said in the print statement, use the variable dice instead of guess on line 16.
oh,
Print dice landed on format dice.
oh, that's what's happened. Wow, that's
Yeah.
yeah. Appreciate it,
Thank
Luke.
you,
All right,
Luke.
okay, that makes sense. Okay, so as we can see, hopefully I'll get the number correct at least once. Nope, today's not my day. Gosh, not once. Gosh, that's a bad luck. Okay, well, so even betting on just the, what correct number of dice we're rolling could still be not too easy to guess. So I guess the thing to learn is make sure to research probability and know your odds when you're betting. Um, all right, and then the last script I like to get to is simply just a random person generator. So in this case, what I'm trying to do is just randomly create person name based off the first name and last name that they enter. Right. So I already created the first and last names, and well, the script is already done. I kind of saved myself the pain of having to do live coding. Um, so nevertheless, what I like to do is just take the randomly create a first name and last name and just put it together. Um, so we can just demo this very simple script and just do this right here. All right. Gotta call the script first. So create names and see what happens there. So we do this a couple of times, and we could get various, different variants of names, of course, and then we can keep exploring the different functionality inside of the random module, so that we can do something a little more interesting. We can put together maybe a whole complete profile of a random person, not just not just a name, but maybe what country they're from, their age, or um, anything that's we can we can think of that can describe the attributes of a person. Because it's quite easy to do that. We just create different, we can create more data and just use the random RN function for the random module to do that. Um, if you'd like to explore it further, like I said before, I have put together the complete solution on GitHub, and I will share this at the end of the presentation. But yeah, so hopefully you guys, other than that group, hopefully you guys got some value out of this, maybe inspired to play with the random module and just do it for recreational purposes, see what interesting things that you can build with it, and maybe even try to explore something a little bit more complex, like how to use it in learning algorithms or things of that nature. So thank you very much.